Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Big Frog's 4x4. Today's discussion is going to be about the 3.6 liter gas engine and the 2.8 liter Duramax diesel engine for the Chevy Colorado and Chevy Canyons. Alright, first thing we want to talk about is the 3.6 liter and 2.8 liters fuel economy. Now the EPA puts the ZR2 3.6 fuel economy at 18 miles per gallon and the 2.8 liter Duramax at 19 to 22 miles per gallon. Now that's not real world numbers. Real world numbers on the 3.6 liter I've heard be reported as high as 21 miles per gallon on the highway, 21 and a half, and the Duramax diesel somewhere around 27, 28 miles to the gallon on the highway. And our Colorado diesel ZR2, we average about 26 to 27 miles per gallon with 75% highway use. The standard Colorado 3.6 liter EPA is 17 to 25 miles per gallon. And the ZR2 is 20 to 30 miles per gallon in a standard Colorado, non-ZR2 Colorado, or GMC Canyon. All these numbers apply to the GMC Canyon and the Chevy Colorado. The 3.6 liter engine is a direct injection, aluminum head, aluminum block engine. The 2.8 liter Duramax is a common rail direct injection with a gray cast iron block and aluminum heads. Both are dual overhead cam with 4 valves per cylinder. Now what everyone really wants to know is, what's the horsepower? The 3.6 liter is 308 horsepower at 6,800 RPMs, and the torque is 275 at 4,000 RPMs. Compared to the diesel's 186 horsepower at 4,000 RPMs, but it puts out 369 foot-pounds of torque at only 2,000 RPMs. Both the ZR2s have a tow rating of 5,000 pounds. The gas Colorado and GMC Canyon non-ZR2 have a tow rating of 7,000 pounds, and the Duramax diesel and the non-ZR2 has a tow rating of 7,700 pounds, and they both average about 1,500 payload. Now when it comes to buying one of these trucks, it really is going to come down to, what do you use your truck for? Do you use your truck for towing? Do you use your truck for high-speed off-road racing? Do you use it for crawling? Do you see a lot of highway use in your truck? A lot of that depends on what engine and what configuration you want. If you're doing a lot of off-roading and it's like rock crawling, slow crawling, that sort of thing, and you need the extra torque to get up over large obstacles and rocks and hills, but you're not going to spend days on end on the trails off-roading. The Duramax diesel, I've had reports of people telling me, and I've seen online in different reports, that they're having problems with the regeneration on these trucks when run at idle and low speeds for long periods of time. So if you plan on buying the ZR2 for off-roading and you're going to do overlanding, or even our standard Colorado that's lifted 4-wheel drive, and you're going to be using it for long-term, week-on-end overlanding or something like that, either buy yourself a decent hand scan tool so you can force the truck into regeneration yourself. You don't have to worry about it going into what they call limp mode, where it cuts power and everything to the engine. So if you're going to be doing long periods of idling and it's going to have regeneration issues, you're going to want to make sure you have a way to manually force a regen. So if you plan on using your truck for off-road or long idling periods, if you're going to be stuck in traffic a lot, say if you're living in a city or a high traffic area, you might not want to go with the ZR2 if you don't want to have to worry about the regeneration, DEF fluid, that sort of thing. Let's talk about the diesel for a minute. There are companies that offer a delete kit to delete your EGR and emissions system, and it comes with a tune so that the factory computer thinks the EGR system is still there. This is for off-road use only. It is not EPA approved. You're not allowed to delete your emissions equipment from your vehicle. Like the old days, you had the smog pumps on the engines and that sort of thing. You weren't allowed to take the smog pump out off. You have to keep your emission stuff intact according to the federal government. Now, if you're using it for off-road use, by all means, you can delete it and take off anything you want. They're saying highway because some people are doing it. Their highway on a Duramax diesel is getting 31 to 32 miles per gallon after the delete and tune kit. Now, if you use your truck for high-speed running, jumping, washouts, desert running, up and down the dunes, something you need quick acceleration, you might want to consider the 3.6 V6 engine. You're going to suffer when it comes to your fuel economy. You will be paying more for fuel economy, but diesel fuel, at least in Pennsylvania, costs more than gasoline. There is a larger cost up front for the diesel engine. If you want to opt for the diesel engine, the option, I believe, is $2,500. So if you want to buy a Colorado or a Canyon with the diesel, you're going to pay $2,500 more up front. It's yet to be seen really what the resale value is. In the past, diesels held their value better and longer than a gas version of the same truck. But that normally fell under full-size trucks. Putting them in a mid-size truck is a new thing. Where there's no real good data other than the past 3 years of production of truck, but they're still all so new, they're very close in value. You're gonna pay a couple $1,000s more for the diesel over the gas. But once you have a truck that's 10 years old or so, you're really gonna see how much a diesel engine for the Colorado and Canyon is gonna be holding its value more than a gas. It may only ever be a $2,000 difference in cost, or you might have the same exact truck, 10 years old, same model and everything, and the diesel's $5,000 or $6,000 more in value and a better resale value. The Duramax diesel, the DEF fluid also is going to cost you some people are saying every 10,000 miles, some people are saying less. It all depends on how you drive your truck, on how much it uses the DEF fluid. If the exhaust burns hot enough and runs clean enough, and you're not doing a lot of low temperature idling, then you may not have to put that much DEF fluid in. When we took our trip to Texas, we had to put DEF fluid in after about 4,000 miles. But we were already partially used and low by that point. Since my last video, which I'll put a tag here, since that video, I have not filled the DEF tank yet. And that I filled to the point where it overflowed down the side of the truck and had to wash the side of the truck to show everyone that it was full. I have not filled it yet. Now, we did take the truck in for service for the rear axle and the DSSV shocks. The one was leaking, got them replaced. I don't know that the dealer put DEF fluid in for us while we were there. It wasn't on the paperwork, but I would have thought that I would have had to add some by now. And the display on the truck still says DEF fluid okay. It doesn't say fill within so many miles or anything. It still says it's okay. And that's been a couple of months. But like I said earlier, my wife does 75% highway in this truck. So the exhaust and temperature, the exhaust is always high. She's always running 65 to 75 miles per hour. It depends on the flow of traffic, on how fast she drives, obviously. So in conclusion, I would say go with the V6 engine if you're doing long idling, city driving, high speed running, something if you need faster acceleration, because you're not going to get any of that out of the ZR2 Duramax or the other Colorado Duramax engines. Duramax Tuner does make a tune for the truck. I'm told that it works better and helps the engine and transmission shifts a lot better, but I don't know that from personal experience. So I don't want to say, yes, buy the diesel and tune it and it's going to be better than the V6, because honestly, I don't know. We bought the diesel because of mostly rock crawling. I don't care much for mud. It gets up into places and it just causes frame and body rot and that kind of stuff. And you just don't ever see where it's at, and you don't see mud. So we bought it because I like slow crawling. I bought the ZR2 because we live back a 3/4 of a mile long driveway back in the mountains. Like you can just see from this video, I just drove to the end of our driveway, took the trash down, and drove back up. It's 3/4 of a mile long, and you don't go flying up and down the driveway. Now, on this truck, I probably could, and it would be pretty darn fun, but I don't like beating my truck up any more than I have to, and the wife would probably yell at me. No, I am not sponsored by Cornwell Tools. I bought some tools for work, got the free t-shirt. I am not sponsored by anybody. Rough Country sent me the free shirt and free hat for mentioning their product in one of my videos. Thank you, Rough Country. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below. I will answer them the best I can. Remember, everything in this is my opinion. All the numbers I read off, I pulled directly from Chevrolet, from their website. If you're having trouble choosing between the gas and the diesel, most of the time I say, currently with diesel fuel prices the way they are, and the DEF cost, and the regeneration that you have to worry about in your truck, most people, I would say, probably should go the 3.6 liter V6 gas engine. Only because if you can't do your own maintenance and you don't have the ability or the patience, or if you're driving in the city, it's just going to be better overall. It's better acceleration. But if you're into slow crawling, if you, say, are towing a trailer and you need that extra 700-pound rating, 7,000 compared to 7,700, and you need that extra towing capacity, then you want to go with the diesel. But I'm sure if you're towing, you're probably going to be doing like a camper or something like that, and you're going to be out on the highway, and you're going to be keeping it up to speed. If you're off-roading, I doubt you're going to be pulling a 7,700-pound camper behind you overlanding. Most people are going to be pulling something less than 5,000 pounds, probably 3,500 pounds, because you don't want a 7,000-pound trailer behind you trying to get up over hills in four-wheel drive and loose soil. You're just not going to make it. I don't care what truck you have. So there you have it. My opinions on the gas and diesel engine. Like I said, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. And as always, God bless.